Ladies and gentlemen, the Nintendo Switch 2 has no games. Yeah, that's what I would say if I bonked my head and woke up with amnesia and I thought it was June of 2025. Now, the Switch 2 has too many games, and what's great is there's even more games on the way. And in this video, I want to highlight 20 upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 games that are already confirmed that have me extremely hyped. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. This console right here, it's a chef's kiss. Mwah. It is amazing. Not perfect, but boy, oh boy, day after day, I'm finding more reasons to fall in love with it. And I went from like loving my Switch to saying, okay, I need something new. Now that I have the Switch 2, I have to like force myself to stop playing games because I have responsibilities. And I keep saying all the time, like I wish there was 50, 60 hours in a day so I could dedicate 10 hours at least just to gaming. But unfortunately, that's not a reality. At least not currently. So 20 games, that is what we're talking about today. And all of these games are already confirmed for the Switch 2. Like, this is what we already know. Could you imagine what else we're gonna find out that are surprises? Pretty exciting stuff. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. We're 150 subscribers away from 28,000. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep these communities growing. And let's try to get through this list. So the first game we're talking about to get this list started is Virtua Fighter 5 REVO World Stage. And this game actually comes out this month on the 26th. I'll be honest, I'm not like the biggest fighting games fan. I'm not opposed to it. And when I find a fighting game I like and really enjoy, I tend to play them quite often. Like Street Fighter 6 was a lot of fun. I know this is a series that a lot of people really enjoy and has like its own following, and I really cannot wait to play this one. And the great thing is, we don't have to wait too much longer. Now, a game I have famously mispronounced like 500 times is Yoshi in the Mysterious Book. I've been calling this game Yoshi in the Storybook for legit months and nobody corrected me. Then I had some of you guys message me and say that you even started calling it Yoshi in the Storybook because of me. My bad. But I am insanely excited for this one, like extremely hyped. I love the art style. Like, it's cliche, it's like, oh, it's a storybook brought to life. But it feels like so much more than that. And this game is 20 gigabytes or something insane, so I think there's a lot of surprises there. I think the release date is May, so again, not that much longer to wait. But man, I truly just cannot wait for this one. Now, a game that if you're in the know, you're excited, and if you have no idea, you're probably like, what the hell is going on? That is Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Tomodachi Life it's just wacky in the best way possible. So this game is coming out next month in April, and I do believe there is an official Switch 2 edition if I'm not mistaken. Tomodachi Life takes all the regular things from life simulation games and really flips it on its head. And it's really cool because you're using your own custom Miis. So maybe when this comes out, they'll add Miis to Mario Kart World. That's a little thought that I just thought about there. But this is the perfect game to play through the summertime. Now, words I can't even believe that I'm saying. I cannot wait to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the Switch 2. Like, this isn't a random rumor online. This is official. Final Fantasy VII Remake is currently one of the best and most impressive ports we have on the Switch 2. Now, I've beat Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth on my PS5, and I love both games. They are in fact masterpieces. But being able to play these handheld, it's like a gaming miracle, you know what I mean? This is crazy. So I will definitely be jumping into this one again. Now, another game I have already beat on my PS5, but we'll be jumping into again on the Switch 2 is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I don't want to say this game is underrated or underplayed, because I know a lot of people played it and it was rated very highly, but I still want it to be rated higher. It is one of my favorite games I've played in recent memory. You actually feel like you're playing through a movie and really exploring and really solving puzzles. Now, if I can be honest, I kind of rushed through this on my PS5 a little bit. Like, there was so many more things to explore, and then I didn't play the DLC as well. So I will be taking my time when I play this again on my Switch 2 and definitely checking out that DLC. This is going to be such a treat to play handheld. So a game that recently got announced, and now I cannot wait to jump into this one, is DENSHATACK. I think that's how it's pronounced. And if I could explain this in the most simplest terms, it's like a bus game, like where you drive a bus or control a bus, mixed with Tony Hawk Pro Skater. It just feels like something that would have been on the Sega Dreamcast. And I just feel like this is going to be a cult classic eventually. It's going to be so much fun. So this one was such like a random surprise that now, you know, I feel like I've always wanted to play this. So Capcom is currently doing some of the best work on the Switch 2. They've knocked it out of the park multiple times. And we also have Pragmata coming up. This one, again, like, there's a demo out, I'm pretty sure. And the demo is very high quality. And I believe either the publishers or maybe the producers or some of the developers, somebody who worked on this or has something to do with it, said that the quality on the Switch 2 even surprised them. They were like, I can't believe we pulled this off. So this one has this really cool premise where there's like this little artificial intelligence girl who's on your back controlling stuff and has this really cool shooting mechanic. And I have an overwhelming feeling that this one is just going to be, it's going to be peak. Now, a game I could have played on my PS5, and I almost purchased this multiple times, but I knew in the back of my mind it would eventually come over to the Switch 2, is Digimon Story Time Stranger. You know, I grew up playing Pokemon, and I remember when Pokemon and Digimon first made appearances, and for a while, Digimon was like a real competitor to Pokemon, and I always felt like it was cooler than Pokemon, right? Like, Pokemon was mainstream, Digimon was like the edgy grunge kids who lived down the street who you wanted to play with and you weren't really allowed to, but you snuck out sometimes and still played with them. That's what Digimon is. In this game, you know, I haven't played it, but it was positively received basically all the way around, and some people were saying like this was better than Pokemon Legends EA because I think they came out about the same time. So yeah, this one cannot come soon enough. Now we're also getting LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight this year, and while it is a LEGO game, it essentially is like a brand new Batman Arkham game. Like, they took all the gameplay from that, they've got this beautiful crafted world, real mechanics, but it's a LEGO game. It's like, yeah, I'm still gonna play this one, and you know, it's too early to say, but it essentially looks like it's gonna become one of, if not the greatest LEGO game of all time, and even one of the best Batman games of all time. So yeah, I don't think this one has an official release date yet, but hopefully that release date gets revealed soon, and it's coming soon. So arguably one of the coolest games that's been revealed for the Switch 2 so far is Orbitals. The aesthetic of it, you know, it's like kind of cringe sometimes, and you're like, whoa, the graphics and the aesthetic and just the vibes, man. But the aesthetic is so like late 80s, early 90s anime, and that's my favorite era of anime. I'm a huge anime watcher, especially retro anime, and it just nails the vibes perfectly. It's a really unique multiplayer only game that's in the same vein as like It Takes Two or Split Fiction or something. And what's really interesting is this is actually a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. So if this year was not already stacked enough, we also have 007 First Light coming out for the Switch 2 as well as other consoles. But, you know, even though I have a PS5, I will be picking this up on my Nintendo Switch 2. James Bond games, 007, whatever, like, these were so prominent back in the early generations of gaming. Like, I remember playing a lot of these games during the GameCube era and the Xbox 360. And then they kind of just died out, I guess. Like, I'm sure there are some games that were released that I'm just not aware about. But for a while, they were just coming out all the time, and they were just so damn good. So this one has me very excited because you're playing as James Bond as like a young recruit in the MI6. And there's a good chance, like, if everything lines up, this could be potentially in the Game of the Year category. Now, a game I thought would have already been out by now. You know, this was shown off in that very first big Switch 2 hour-long presentation. That is Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, and they showed it to us, and we thought, okay, it looks good. Then we sent some hands-on gameplay, and we thought, okay, that looks bad. And then we heard nothing. Over the past few weeks, there has been more hands-on gameplay, and now it is a night and day difference. And I have a feeling this is actually going to get released in the next 60 days. Maybe they show it off at a Nintendo Direct and say like, hey, this is coming out very soon. And I think this game has to come out before they mention the Dustbloods. And that's a game I'm not going to mention in this video. Like, it's cool, but it's just not my thing, so I'm not that excited for it personally, but I am excited for the people who are excited for that. Another game that was about to come out, and then we've heard nothing until this recent I think Indie World Showcase is Mina the Hollower. This is made by the same team as Shovel Knight, so you know the quality is there. And there was even demos on the Switch too. Like, I think some people still have those demos downloaded and can play them. And I want to say a few weeks before release, they delayed this game and then delayed it again, but indefinitely. But showing it off in the Indie World Showcase was basically like, hey, this game is still coming, and I think it's coming soon. It reminds me of like an old classic 2D Zelda game, but for the people who played it, they're saying like, yeah, it does kind of play like that, but it's actually really challenging. And I just feel like this one is going to be such a treat to play, so hopefully they reveal that release date sooner than later. Now, a game that just kind of got revealed recently for the Switch 2 is Mouse PI for Hire. This game, every time I go on Twitter for like the past 2 or 3 years, I feel like there's always like a gameplay demo or the developer showing it off saying news is coming soon, and it looks really fun and really interesting, but I just felt like it was going to be in development pretty much forever. But I think recently they had some hands-on gameplay and some hands-on reviews, and now it is officially coming out for the Switch 2, I believe in June, maybe July, but I think June. So I'm definitely going to be jumping into this one. It just feels like one of those video games that come around, you know, every couple of years, that just everything that you think it's going to be, it is that and more. You can tell it's a huge passion project. And I just feel like we need games like this, right? Like games that kind of come out of left field, do what they're supposed to do and do it right. And they just leave you kind of wanting more. Now, arguably one of my most anticipated games of the entire year and in recent memory is The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. And again, I hate comparing stuff to other games, but it's just kind of easy sometimes. It reminds me of like a classic Legend of Zelda game, but obviously with that Square Enix touch. You're a character with a sword, there's even a fairy. I've seen this before, but that is not a bad thing. And honestly, maybe that's why I'm even interested in the first place, you know? So this game didn't have a release date for the longest time, but now again, I think this game is coming out in June. So the summer is starting to look stacked, and I'm really gonna have to find some time to play all of these great games. Now, sometimes I forget that Nintendo even showed off this game because we've heard nothing since then, and that is for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Although this game is coming out this year, there is no release date right now. And I think, you know, this is just a theory. I think this is going to be one of those big games that Nintendo really wants to push and utilize mouse controls, because wow, a couple of games are like, you know, you're able to do it. There's no games that make you just want to sit down and only use mouse controls. But whenever I would sit and think like, what games can Nintendo really focus on mouse controls? Fire Emblem is always a game that came to mind first. And you know, Fire Emblem is just a great series. It's a little bit more niche because it's like a strategy RPG, but I do think more people are open to playing these games now. And I just think it's going to be a lot of fun. So you've heard me say this a few times in this video already, but another game I could have played on my PS5 and almost bought there, but I thought it's inevitably coming to the Switch too. That is for the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Now look, I was so late to the party in playing Skyrim. You may ask, how late? Skyrim, I didn't play it until like March of 2025. Yeah, I would say I was a little late, but when I finally played it, I played it on my Switch OLED, and it was so damn fun. I was only able to play like 20 hours of the story though, because I got a game-breaking bug, which is hilariously on brand for Bethesda. So as soon as I finally experienced that, I wanted to play other Elder Scrolls games, and I knew, you know, it's not like a long shot here that this game was probably going to come over to the Switch too. It is coming over a little sooner than I thought. I thought they would pick other games first, but yeah, this one is going to be awesome to play again, handheld. Now, I also have to include Splatoon Raiders here, and this choice is really strange for me because I'm not the biggest Splatoon fan, and I've tried to get into Splatoon multiple times. I tried to play Splatoon 2 a few times, couldn't get into it, and I thought, it is what it is, right? Then Splatoon 3 came out. I tried that, still couldn't get into it. And looking back, I think the only time I ever enjoyed Splatoon was playing at a demo at like Walmart on a Wii U tablet. But I remember playing the demo and thinking, this is pretty fun, but I could just never get into it. But I like the premise of Splatoon, and I think the characters are insanely interesting and really well made, and the whole world of Splatoon looks very fun. So Splatoon Raiders will not only be for like the day one diehard fans, but I think it's also going to attract people like me who are interested in Splatoon, but just not a fan of the game. So now I have a strange theory that Nintendo accidentally like showed this game off way too early, because we've heard absolutely nothing since they showed it off. I feel like it was something that was supposed to be shown off in a different direct, slipped into a different one. So hopefully they show us something soon, because this game has really piqued my interest. And the last game I want to talk about is a game that was supposed to come out holiday season 2025, but was delayed until 2026, and that is WITCHBROOK. This game, like the moment they showed it off in a Nintendo Direct, like I was drooling at the mouth. Like I could not wait to play this game. You're a wizard going to like a wizard school and doing all these challenges. It almost seems like a pixelated version of like something like Hogwarts Legacy. And I know this game is not for everybody, right? But it's a cozy witch game where you're just doing magic and kind of building relationships, it looks like, and going to school, and you're just doing all these things. And it's something I know without a doubt I'm going to 100% fall in love with. So I was very devastated once this game was delayed, and unfortunately we've heard nothing in a very long time. So hopefully in one of these next Nintendo Directs we get, they mention it. I think it was shown off in an Indie World Showcase if I'm not mistaken, so you know, it's probably going to be like 6 months until we get another one of those. But man, I cannot wait to play this one. And I want you to keep in mind one thing here. This was my list, right? There's other Switch 2 games that are pretty big, that are confirmed, but I just don't care about them that much. So every game we talked about in this video, I'm interested in, I want to play, I can't wait to play, and I would like to play them sooner than later. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. What are your most anticipated Switch 2 games currently? Like, what games can you not wait to play? Just let me know. And if you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could do me a favor, hit a like and subscribe on the way out. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter on the way out, and consider becoming a channel member. And you guys know me, I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace.